It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
Your vehicle doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a bridge to the people and places that matter most. It's how you show up for your family, your community, and everyone else that depends on you. That's why for 125 years, Firestone has been building tires with one thing in mind: to deliver products that are as reliable as you are. Firestone, always dependable since 1900.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
It's, you're going to have to choke the life out of this team. Right? We're not going to go down without a fight. We're not going to go down without kicking, punching, grabbing, clawing. And that's just who we are. And we've been in this position before. And we were able to work our way through it. And I expect our guys to be ready mentally to go out and compete at a high level and bring this thing back here.
That's JB Bickerstaff saying what you have to say after you've just dropped Game 5 at home. Cleveland gets their first road win of the postseason. They beat Detroit in overtime 117-113. James Harden led a rally, finished the game with 30 points in the win. Cade Cunningham, huge stat line, including 39 points, but not enough. Brave words, PK, but what else was he going to say, right?
I expect our guys to roll over and play dead like we did down the stretch of that fourth quarter because we had that game. That game was in our possession. We couldn't find a basket. We panicked offensively. We just did one-on-one. You take a turn, then I take a turn, and none of us make any buckets. So if you look at it realistically, we probably have one more game, and then our season is over.
And there it is. Spell it out like it really is. Cleveland has not lost a home game. If they can win one more home game in Game 6, they are on to the conference final.
Or if they can win one more road game, they're on to the
wouldn't that be crazy after 4 straight home wins if there were 3 straight road wins? Cleveland wins on the road in Game 6, forces a Game 7. Or excuse me, Detroit wins on the road in Game 6 in Cleveland. Then it goes back home and messes up Game 7.
The venue is so irrelevant to me. If that's something you need, you're not going to win. I mean,
at some point,
this far in the playoffs, I don't care what happened before.
Cleveland has needed it, and they're not going to win it all. So I think that supports your point.
They didn't need it because they won Game 3 on the road, so they didn't need it. They in the first round maybe, but they won the biggest game that any of these guys have ever played.
Game 5
on the road
last night.
Yeah. And they were down. They were trailing. They needed not a miracle comeback, but a pretty impressive comeback. The venue had no effect on Donovan Mitchell. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the venue was the deciding factor, not Strus coming off the bench and shooting lights out. Maybe that's
Strus.
Maybe that was it. Maybe it was venue. I got it all wrong.
Strus was 6 of 8 from 3. Donovan Mitchell was 1 of 8 from 3. But Strus caught fire.
One put them up by 5 in overtime. The biggest shot he needed, he made.
More playoff basketball coming up. Some of these series are all wrapped up. We got nothing for you tonight, so we'll have 2 games Friday night with the Spurs and the Timberwolves. And the Spurs up 3-2 trying to close it out. And the Pistons and the Cavs tomorrow. But you get a night off from the NBA tonight. Bulls guard Josh Giddey underwent an arthroscopic procedure on his right ankle. Expected to miss 3 months. Should be back in time for the start of training camp this fall.
I view Josh Giddey as a forward, but that's just me.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said the new 3-2-1 lottery reform proposal will be formally introduced to NBA's Board of Governors later this month. Well, the Jazz got the second pick this year, so we can worry about the lottery when they rebuild the next time. Let's see if somebody's pick and fall into it here. We'll see. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Once upon a time, Mark Harlan, Utah Athletic Director, was on our air saying, Brett Yormark and he had been talking about, what about a Wednesday night game, the night before Thanksgiving? The NFL thought it was a great idea. Now they got the Packers and Rams playing the night before Thanksgiving. There will be football everywhere, PK, and the Packers and Rams will play November 25th.
Then do the night before Thanksgiving.
Aha! Tuesday night football.
That whole week's a holiday.
That's called Maction.
We'll run them over.
Yeah.
Fun Belt?
I mean, there's more than one college game sometimes.
There are.
Big 12 Tuesday.
Friday nights
There
or
you
what
go.
have you.
Full NFL schedule will be revealed later today.
All right.
Former Utah wide receiver Tim Patrick signs for 1 year and $1.5 million. He will join the New York Jets this season. Tim Patrick has had to overcome some injuries, but he's stayed in the league a long time, PK.
He has, yeah. Good for him. That means money.
Exactly. Another $1.5 million for him.
They'll take it.
DJ PK.
Hashtag college football.
Nebraska has a unique $5 million NIL and intellectual property agreement with football coach Matt Rule, which allows the university's athletic department to profit from his House Rules podcast and any apparel-related merchandise featuring his likeness. He'll earn $13.5 million as part of a one-time payment. It's a pretty good one-time payment, PK. Good money if you can get it.
Who doesn't have a podcast? All these people. I wonder if they're going to be doing podcasting for 25 years. Everybody's got a podcast.
Yep.
I'm overwhelmed with podcasts. It's like the old Yogi Berra line. Nobody goes to that restaurant. It's too crowded. I don't listen to podcasts because there's just too many of them. I can't decide which one, so I end up deciding nothing.
So a coach has a podcast. Is that any different than a coach having a TV show 30 years ago? He's just doing it over here instead of over there. Come on.
Well, I would assume the podcast would be longer than a half-hour TV show, and usually the TV show has one or two, if not more, players.
Yep.
And maybe he'll bring on players. And I'd have to listen to it, but there's approximately
0% chance you're going to listen to a Nebraska football podcast.
Now, maybe if our guys did one, that would be. I actually listened to Bronco Mendenhall's a few times at the gym when he was doing a podcast in between his jobs. When he left Virginia and before he got the New Mexico job, I did listen a few times just because Bronco doing a podcast, that seemed absurd to me. But yet he did one.
Tom Moore, now 87 years old, a legendary football career, and he's going back to his alma mater, Iowa, as an offensive advisor and analyst. In Iowa, they've had good defenses and bad offenses, it seems like, for a decade now. Maybe he can put some juice into that offense.
Well, their coach is in his 70s, and the line was, it's good to see them being on the cutting edge.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
And the pitch. A swing and a liner over third. It's a fair ball. Down the line. Here comes Osuna. He's in to score. Danny Jansen has won it for the Rangers. 6-5. The first Ranger walk-off win of the year. And Varsho hits it high. Deep left field. Simpson back at the fence. It's gone! Let's go home! A walk-off grand slam!
Highlights from around Major League Baseball. You like the walk-offs, PK, or are you more intrigued by the Dodgers who can't hit and Shohei Ohtani who helps them shut out the Giants and get a rare W these days?
No, because I was watching a Diamondback game, and that was the walk-off against them, and that broke my heart. I'm going to be in a bad mood all morning. I just can't stand it when they lose, especially when you walk two guys in the ninth friggin' inning.
Throw some strikes.
Yeah, I mean, let him hit it out of the park. Like Varsho, the former Diamondback, doing it for Toronto. But Shohei, yeah, his ERA is just continuing to spiral downward. At this point, I'm thinking, do I even want him to hit? I mean, the way he's pitching, it's just the phrase "lights out." That's literally what you're having with this guy. I watched that too.
7 innings of 4-hit ball, and that ERA PK references is 0.82.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. He's just very smooth delivery, and he gets the ball very quickly. He doesn't have a big fancy windup. When some of those Japanese guys came over, they had strange looking windups that weren't the usual windup that we would see out of the American or the Latin players. But his is very smooth, very powerful. He's a big man, and he just looks like he's in total command.
Compact, all the energy directed right at home plate as opposed to arms and legs flailing towards first or third and all over the place.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Yeah.
The Dodgers had one. What was his name? I could see his face. Ended up pitching, I think, with Toronto. Threw a no-hitter in Colorado, I believe, of all places. And his arms went way up and everything. And it was a different type of delivery. But Shohei, man, it's classic and it's awesome.
Well, he pitches them to the 4-zip win, and they pick up win 25 on the year. Atlanta, the first team to get to 30 wins. They beat the Cubs 4-1. Man, Atlanta, there's a lot of bad teams to beat up on, but now the Braves get a couple series in a row here against the Dodgers and Cubs, and next two top teams in the league, and they're not having much problem here. They're 4-1 in these two series. Got one game left with the Cubs here. They lost the first game to the Dodgers.
To win 30, and the season is already 25% over.
Yep. Yeah, they're a little past it. They're at 43 games. So 40-41 is the quarter pole. And there they go.
Yeah.
That was Dalton Varsho, by the way, you heard on the walk-off grand slam, 10th inning as Toronto beat Detroit. Bees beat El Paso. They play again tonight at the ballpark. Tony Park's on the call. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
Here's a ball at the right sideline for Yedlin with a lot of space. Racing across midfield. Back four retreating. He goes into the left channel. He goes central. Nutmegs. Leaves it for Gozo. Toe poke and a goal. Left side. Gozo beats the keeper. Bond goes to ground. The ball rolls into that far side panel. Gozo has his fourth goal, and RSL has a 2-goal lead. Got to play direct now. Sure enough, there's a 40-yard ball for RSL out of the back for Spearings. He turns, gets to midfield. Through ball for Gozo. We'll see if the flag stays down. It's down for now. Gozo into the area. Gozo shot. Gozo scores! And the flag stays down. And RSL has a 3-0 lead.
And that turns out to be the final score as RSL gets their second shutout of the year. Fortunate in the first half, the Dynamo were in charge but could not finish. A couple of breakaways, hit the post. Yeah, you don't punish those mistakes, PK. It comes back to bite you, and it came back to bite him.
Yeah, you got to get it in the central, whatever the hell that means. That's important. I know that.
He's the youngest RSL player to score multiple goals in a game as Gozo gets his 4th and 5th goals of the year. And they're right back at it, hosting Colorado Saturday night. DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
PGA Championship underway. We're going to talk with Brian Taylor, Real Golf Radio, Aronimik Golf Club in Newton Square, Pennsylvania. No locals in the field. Tony Finau was the third alternate, but it didn't work. Didn't have 3 spots open, so he didn't get in. And PK's at the Epson Tour at Copper Rock this weekend, the Copper Rock Championship in Hurricane. BYU golfer Maria Jose Barragan, MJ for short. MJ, yeah. DJ, PK. MJ will be there fresh off the NCAA Regionals.
Yeah, she's in Louisville and flew afterward to Vegas. Her parents, I assume they're already on, they got to be on the road because her tee time is less than a half hour away. And she might already be there. But their parents met her in Vegas and drove her over, obviously, about, an hour plus drive, hour and a half or so. And she's supposed to tee off around 7:50 here coming up. So we'll see what she can do. And she got an exemption to play in a tournament in January. And I was out there yesterday, the course, Copper Rock, get out and play it if you have the opportunity. I've been there many times. It was magnificent. The conditions were as far as the course. It was a little windy. Hopefully the wind isn't as strong today, but it was a little windy, and it was fun for me. It's the first time I've been wanting to do this. I got a cart. They let me have a cart and then drive around and watch the women practice. And so just to watch them do what they do, it's something that I've always wanted to see with the men. I haven't had the opportunity to be there when they're hitting 4 balls off the fairway, whatever, and watch them, several women on the greens practicing their putts. And so I just went around and checked that out. And I was the ninth hole and the 18th hole. It's a combination green. So it's probably about 75 yards in width, right? And you got a sand trap right in the middle. And they're both uphill. They're both elevated. And I was watching a young lady from probably about 150 just keep throwing darts at the pin at hole number 9 as I was sitting in my cart, because these young ladies are really good and they're trying to make it on the LPGA tour. So it should be a fun time. And then there's also a woman, what's her name? Sturgeon, I think, Haley Sturgeon. She is, I was told, 18 weeks pregnant, and she's going to be participating. So that's going to be fun. A local woman, to see what these women can do. I'm excited. I'll be out there today, leaving right after the show to get out to Copper Rock.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Natchez, far circle, Natchez. One-timer, Kulak! He scores! This series is over! Brett Kulak with a bomb!
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeCoux.
The Jazz.
No, it isn't. But that was Kulak's game winner right there. Wow, Colorado's up 3-1. They're down 3 goals in the first period. Minnesota and all that intensity. We're going to come out. We're going to stay in there. We're going to fight. And Colorado scratches back with 1 in the second. They scored twice in the last 4 minutes to force OT, and then there's the OT game winner. They win the game 4-3. They win the series 4-1. Colorado, best team in the regular season, is now 8-1 in the Western playoffs. Carolina, the best team in the East, is 8-0 in the East. They got to get through the conference finals, PK, but it looks like they are just thundering into a head-on collision here in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if you can prove you're the best team over the regular season, then you have that opportunity to show it again, and it removes any doubt. And they don't have any flukes get in the way. They just beat who's ever in front of them. They've been doing it since October, and they're doing it in the postseason.
Yeah. Colorado and Carolina are waiting for the other series to finish. In the East, Montreal and Buffalo are tied 2-2. They play 5 o'clock tonight on TNT. Carolina waiting for the winner of that series. And Vegas and Anaheim. Vegas is up 3-2. They have Game 6 tonight, 7:30 on TNT. And the winner of that series will play Colorado.
Yeah, go Vegas, man. I still have my Vegas paraphernalia. I didn't trade it all in. I did keep a T-shirt.
That a kid. Hold on to some stuff there, just in case you got to switch back.
Oh, yeah. But you want at least one memento. You can give away the other stuff, right?
Toronto Maple Leafs. Good.
I still have one 1320 K-Fan shirt somewhere.
I do, too. I do. I've been thinking, when's the right time to wear that? Some of the stuff you just hold on to. You hold on to it, it comes around again. Hey, look, we're on 1320. Hey, I'm back on 1280. Hey, I'm back on 1320.
Probably not signal. That anymore.
There's nothing on 1320 anymore. That's static thing.
I don't think there's anything anywhere outside of what we do.
They sold the transmitter, so it's just straight static. Toronto fired their coach. GM didn't really give any reasons why. We're Toronto. We're not good enough. Next. All right, that's what is trending. There are your headlines. Brian Taylor, Real Golf Radio, is going to join us 8 o'clock. Ron McBride, former Utah and Weber State coach, talking Utah and BYU spring football. The rare person, there's probably a handful of high school coaches, PK, but not many people get to go into both spring practices. We'll see what Ron thinks of these two teams going forward. He's going to join us in studio at 8:30. DJ PK, the question of the day is next. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeCoux.
The Jazz selecting number 2 in the upcoming NBA draft. So if there's one thing that scares me, AJ's the safer pick. And that's what makes me nervous, is that Washington is going to be like, okay, we've really swung and missed, and we've really done some problems. So let's go the safest superstar available in AJ and let somebody else take the risk on Darren. If I'm the Jazz, then I take that risk on Darren Peterson. But I exhaust every option available to me to get AJ.
I encourage everybody to go back and you do watch pre-Kansas film on Darren Peterson. I want you to watch his handle, specifically how he navigates ball screens. He can become a better passer, but he's not bad as a secondary playmaker. You just look at him, it's his frame. To me, there are real reasons why this guy can be great.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Having the right people in your corner for life's biggest milestones makes all the difference. Like a friend who's there when you're house hunting or checking out a new ride, State Farm is there too, helping you choose the coverage you need. With a State Farm agent, you know someone is there to help you along the way. And with so many coverage options, it's nice knowing you have help choosing a plan that fits your needs, so you can continue celebrating all of life's milestones. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
DJ and PK. PK, CBS Sports reporting that AJ Dybantsa prefers to stay in Utah and play for the Jazz. It's gonna happen, ain't it? You had to do that, didn't you? You just couldn't help yourself.
Well, you got to add a personal touch. You got to stay true to who you are.
Okay.
At least your on-air persona, who you are.
Oh, that person. Okay, that makes sense.
You know him. You know the other guy too.
Do people believe? Ken says the Jazz have been paying the kid since high school. It'd be wasted investment if they let him go. Carlos, he will be a Jazz.
A Jazz man.
He did not say that.
Well,
he said he will be a Jazz.
Well, yeah, but we always say Jazz man,
Yeah.
either Laker or Sun or
Yep.
Trailblazer, but you can't just be a Jazz. We always do the man on there because it doesn't sound as quite awkward. We understand that a Jazz man, when I hear Jazz man, I think he played for the Jazz. That's my definition of a Jazz man, and that's certainly around here, around our parts. That's what we're referencing. But yeah, I'm going to go back to what I said Monday, and that was I don't expect it, but I anticipate it. And
please explain.
Because I'm making calls and texts and whatnot, and trying to gather information, but because it's still early in the process, it's hard to report anything because I'm not up at 3 a.m. So, well, I am, but I mean, I'm not trying to get information at that time of day. And so where I'm going with this, if I get something at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, oh man, I've heard this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's at 3 o'clock the day before, But this thing is so crazy and so far from being settled because we're barely in the stages of starting it that it's not really factual information. It's somewhere between, hey, this could possibly happen, or just a flat out rumor. And, certainly don't want to be reporting on rumors. And that's not the way I grew up in the journalism business. You don't report on rumors. No, you report on something that is of substance. But journalism is a phrase and a definition that is wide, and for better or worse, a lot for worse. I'll be the first to admit there's a lot of stuff that goes on now in the business that I just shudder and think there's just no way I could have ever done that. And I don't really appreciate that being done. But, we can discuss things as long as they're taken in context that, oh, yeah, I heard this thing. But we make sure, at least I do, and I think you do too, that we say, yeah, this is just something that I heard. It's not going to happen in terms of me reporting that it's going to happen. No, that's not even close to the truth. So by saying that I don't expect it, that means that it's possibilities. But because of the connection and the fact that they only have to move up one spot and they have assets and valuables that Washington would want, I can anticipate it happening. In my mind, I can grasp it because I'm the one saying it. I hope for the listeners and for you guys, when I say it and I explain it, it becomes a little clearer to what I'm trying to get at in terms of I'm not even close to saying, yeah, I expect him to be wearing a Jazz uniform, as Karl Malone would say, in October. I don't. But I anticipate that there's a possibility that it could very well happen. Does that clear it up at all?
I think the anticipation part of it is the easiest part to explain because we were anticipating it, watching the Jazz tank and watching him play well at BYU. And then the lottery comes, and, if the Jazz are going to be 5th or 6th or 7th or whatever, well, there's just no chance.
Right.
But there's 2, so there's obviously a chance. We can all connect these possible dots. But the thing about expecting anything is that we're basically 6 weeks from the draft.
Yeah.
If they're going to make a trade, they're going to stare each other down. No one's showing all their cards this early in the game. So they're going to stare each other down for a month before they make the trade, even if you think this deal is inevitable. And I don't think it's inevitable, although it's certainly possible. It is not inevitable. But even if it is inevitable, they're still not going to do it until right before the draft. So to your point, what can you report? You can't report something until it happens, and it hasn't happened yet. And the whole history of the NBA draft says it's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen the week after that. We're going to have the status quo here for a while. Lots of anticipation, expectation, speculation, possibly rumor. But the one thing we're not going to have is cold hard facts because they're just not going to announce a trade on, May 22nd. They're just not going to. But we can all connect the dots. And who says that, and this is the basketball part of it, who says they even have to make a deal? Now, you can read people, not local people who we might be, just too close to it, too head over heels because we watched every minute of every BYU game, blah, blah, blah. But the people who reported on this nationally, and we're talking to sources at multiple teams, are saying, and actually CBS, who had this story that you're referring to, has one. They have a quote from an anonymous executive with a lottery team who says, wow, I was surprised that on the broadcast they said AJ was the number 1 pick as a foregone conclusion. Now, he might be, but maybe not. And the thing you've got here is everybody's got to project these players. And so worst case scenario, what is the floor, right? Well, worst case scenario, Peterson, as you sit here now, it's like, whoa, that's the one that could be the worst case. But then when you say best case scenario, all these guys click. How good could they be? Well, he's got the highest ceiling. And for everybody, there's a slightly different thing. And what I think AJ has is people are pretty sure that his floor is pretty good. Even if he doesn't develop that well, he's still going to be pretty good. So it's a little more of a sure thing. And from Washington's perspective, it's like you got to come away with something. You can't fail this test. Now you might make a pick that's the B+ A- pick. Maybe you don't make the A+ pick, but you can't go out there and make a C- pick or get an F. And there's a little risk with Peterson. But then you read all these NBA executives, and the consensus, not everyone believes this, but a lot of people believe it, is that if they all develop, Peterson has the best chance to be awesome, fantastic, A++. But he's also got the best chance to disappoint everyone and have everyone staring at you like, why do you still have your job? Makes it pretty fascinating here for this next month when nothing's going to happen.
Absolutely. There's a lot to unpack there, so I'll start with continuing my definition. Okay. Last summer, I anticipated Bear Bachmeier as being the starting quarterback. Others were going with...
Didn't you expect it? I'm given
as the summer wore on.
Yeah, given what you were told, given what you were told early, and then given how things started pretty quickly, and given your level of trust / expectation and past track record, if people tell you something and they've told you, multiple things over multiple years, and, they're a little better at the plate than the Dodgers are right now, you're going to stick with them. If they've told you 4 or 5 things, you're probably going to think the 6th thing has a good chance of happening. And it made sense, right? Well, he is a big-time recruit. This wasn't some 0-star guy coming out of, some small school somewhere.
Right. No. I mean, he came out of Stanford.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, right? Okay, multiple schools have identified this guy as a real deal, and somebody's told me stuff before and been spot on, tells me this, it's probably going to be spot on again.
Yes, and then when they tell me the same thing multiple times.
Oh, yeah. So if you hear it in May, you hear it in June, you hear it in July?
Right.
Yeah, the story's not changing.
That's always resonated with me, and I'd say 99.9% of the people who told me stuff, they don't tell me stuff just to talk. They know what they're talking about. We're going to have Ron McBride on in 45 minutes or an hour or so. And I can remember, he's told me a lot of stuff over the years, right? And he and I were sitting, getting ready for a television appearance in another time and place. And this is probably, 6-7 years ago. He says to me, he's not retiring. I said, well, I talked to him about retirement. He's not retiring.
I know. I've had that conversation with him too.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. He's not retiring. So stop talking about it. And he's telling me like he's my father or my grandfather. Hey, shut up, son. This isn't going to happen. And he's talking about Kyle Whittingham. Now, none of us expected to have the situation play out where he's the coach at Michigan, but I can remember that vividly. And Ron was sitting and I'm standing up next to him. He's just looking, I'm not going to retire. It's not, no. And he was right. And I'd had 15 years of Ron McBride telling me stuff of what he thought or telling us stuff. I'm certainly not the only one. So, when you got a lot of credibility, there's something that I'll latch on to. And I don't like going out and saying wild stuff. I say wild stuff when we're messing around, but in this, like with Bachmeier, and I wrote about it at KSL.com, Josh Furlong, who was the editor there, I joked with him by the time we got to late July or in August. I said, I'm going to write another one that says Bear Bachmeier is going to start without fully saying he's going to start. But that was my anticipation from June on after he got to campus and the stuff that I heard, and it came to pass. Now, will this come to pass? I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm not expecting it necessarily, but I anticipate that they're going to make a move, and it just seems so logical that he would want to be here. His family, they enjoyed it. Why not go with something that you're familiar with? Plus, you're going to a winning team, a team that is going to win. Washington is a huge, huge question mark. So I'm speaking from the Dybantsa family perspective. Why wouldn't he want to be in Utah? He knows everybody. Everybody knows him. They know his family. It's about the smoothest transition that he could possibly have, really, outside of LeBron to Cleveland way back when, 20-some years ago, because he lived down the road and everybody knew each other and all that. And that made sense. And sure enough, it did happen. So there's so much that is sensible about it. And then he's coming to a good team, a team that is ready to win. There's very few times that teams in the lottery are ready to win. I mean, you look at Big Vic, they were not ready. Think they had more wins the first year he was there compared to the immediate prior year. Well, clearly the Jazz, unless everybody gets the hantavirus or whatever that thing is called, they're going to have far more wins, way more wins. They're going to be a winning team. It's going to be a fun environment. They're going to be an exciting team. We talk about how the arena was packed during the losing years. Well, it's not only going to be packed this next season, it's also going to be rocking because it's going to be fun. And winning is fun. There's nothing like it. So it makes sense. Will it happen? Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I have no idea because I anticipate it. But I think there's a decent chance. And if the Jazz want it, if they feel like he's their guy, and I don't think they're going to feel like he's their guy just because of the reasons I said, that he played at BYU and that his family likes it out here. And that's not the reasons. I think the reasons is because they think he's the cathedral. And what do you mean by the cathedral, PK? Well, that's my new nickname for him. He's the cathedral because he has the highest ceiling.
Oh. So good. So good. Been sitting on that one?
No, I just thought of it this morning.
Okay.
When you were talking about the floor and the highest ceiling and all that stuff.
The cathedral.
Yeah, don't they call that in real estate? They have cathedral ceilings inside the house, right?
Yeah. That's the architecture term, yeah. Cathedral ceilings.
And he's not a Latter-day Saint, so don't call it the temple. The Catholics, we got a cathedral not far from where we are at KSL, right? Yep. So I don't know the young man's religion, but he is the cathedral.
All right, there it is. New nickname. Start printing the T-shirts. Let's go. Except I think everyone agrees that he doesn't have the highest ceiling.
All right. Well,
the highest ceiling belongs to Peterson.
I disagree on that. I totally disagree.
And I do think it's not unanimous, so you've got company disagreeing. But when most people are analyzing the draft, talking about it, that's how they're referring to Peterson.
Then it would be a slam dunk. Dybantsa is going to be with the Jazz.
No, because Peterson also has the lowest floor.
No, I don't think he does.
Of the top four?
No.
It's easier to see that pick going wrong than any other three, and to see it going worse.
No, I disagree.
Ooh. Disagree on both points.
Of the top four, I'd probably go Cam Boozer.
So I think everybody thinks that he's going to come in and you just count on him being 18-8 guy. Now, he may be the third or fourth, never be able to be better than the third or fourth player on a championship team, but he's going to come in and produce. He's smart. He knows how to play. He knows how to play off other people. He can shoot it. He's got some size, but he doesn't have elite athletic ability, and he doesn't have elite size. And that makes it hard for him to have the best ceiling, and that's why I don't know anyone that believes he does.
Well,
but rock solid. He's not going to mess this up. I don't think
he's going to mess it up. I don't think any of them are going to mess it up.
Well, that is possible, but unlikely, because how often do you see a draft where the top four players all pan out?
I don't care what happened in 1973. I care about what's going to happen in 26 going
or the year
forward.
Before. This
all right, I don't care what happened in 25. Is that good enough for you?
This is the best
I care
draft.
about what's now.
This is the best draft ever.
I don't base everything on history.
This is the best draft ever. Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea. Well, and what's the definition of best draft? I can't remember the 1977 draft. So that's not who I am. I live now. I'm not a history major when it comes to the NBA. I'm caught up in the moment because once I become a history major, I turn off the 23-year-old. He didn't care about that. She didn't care about that. They want to know what's going on now, not what happened before they were born or what happened 10 years ago. He was 13 years old. What's he know what happened 10 years ago? Not everybody's like Yak, who was a freak as a sports fan at 13 years old. I think most people aren't. Yak was. We get it. He could probably recite what happened.
You were, and I was, and Yak was.
But I'm not in terms of, but I was a freak at the time watching. I let it go. I think these four players, they all have an outstanding chance to be really good. Does that make it the best draft ever? I don't know. Who cares? What does the best draft ever get you?
They all have an outstanding chance, but somebody isn't going to deliver on that chance. Somebody will not live up to the hype and the projections and the possibilities.
The hype, who decides what the hype is?
Well, it starts with all the NBA people leaking stuff to reporters. That's where the hype machine begins.
All AJ has to do is come in and play to the best of his ability for either Washington or Utah. And if he does that, that's living up to the hype.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And now, a look at traffic from the KSL Traffic Center.
Got 2 accidents southbound I-15, one through Farmington, the North Station Lane exit, and also one in North Salt Lake near the Beck Street exit, adding significant delays to the commute. So be aware of that if you're headed southbound this morning trying to get into Salt Lake City. Traffic's rough, but your parking lot doesn't have to be. Keep it smooth in your summer playlist with Go Pave Utah. Go to gopavutah.com. That's gopavutah.com. Call them today or once again visit them at gopavutah.com. With your KSL traffic update, I'm Jake Hatch right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
They've been doing it for a while.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Covering the Jazz for the Deseret News, she's our good friend Sarah Todd.
Sarah, you were in the draft lottery room. How would you compare this year to what you'd seen in the previous 3?
This year, it felt like there was a lot riding on, and there's going to be lottery reform after this year. So it was like the teams who tank this year, this might be the last year where you can really tank hard and give yourself the best odds at getting a high pick. When the Jazz are announced that the combination for the second draw, Austin Ainge, he does the Tiger Woods fist bump, and he says, yes. It was just so nice to see emotion, and the third combination that was drawn was also Utah, and so that gets discarded, but it was just like punctuation, like all the work we did gave us the best odds, so much so that the second and third combinations were drawn for us. We get a high pick, we did it.
Catch Jake and Ben afternoons from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Hello.
Hi, this is Regional Power and Utility calling to inform you of an outstanding balance.
I thought I paid that.
You're scheduled for immediate shutoff unless it's resolved today. I can help you make your payment right now.
Learn to pause, reflect, and protect yourself from scams with the help of the AARP Fraud Watch Network.
Nice try.
Visit aarp.org/fraudwatch network to recognize fraud sooner. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Having the right people in your corner for life's biggest milestones makes all the difference. Like a friend who's there when you're house hunting or checking out a new ride, State Farm is there too, helping you choose the coverage you need. With a State Farm agent, you know someone is there to help you along the way. And with so many coverage options, it's nice knowing you have help choosing a plan that fits your needs, so you can continue celebrating all of life's milestones. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
DJ and PK. Question of the morning up on our Facebook page. CBS Sports reports AJ Dybantsa prefers to stay in Utah and play for the Jazz. It's going to happen, comma, ain't it? Jesse, Ace Bailey didn't want to go to the Jazz, and yet he did. Jesse's not convinced that what anybody wants is going to matter at all. Players can want what they want. Agents can want what they want. The only thing that matters is what do the executives at the top teams want? Because they're driving the bus now.
A lot of truth there, yeah.
Yeah. Michael, it's probably not going to happen. Washington doesn't care what AJ wants. They're going to do what's best for them, and the Jazz aren't going to hurt themselves going and getting AJ.
Whoa, what do you mean hurt themselves?
Give up too much, I think is what he's getting at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just some, here's a player, and here's 2 picks, and here's another player. No, they're not going to They're not going to go crazy and overpay.
Okay. All right. I can buy that. There's no need to.
Richard says, don't force this, please. If it happens naturally by Washington picking Peterson, then that's great. There's no reason to trade away 2 potential future All-Stars to go and get one. That'd be dumb. Truth is, neither AJ nor DP are can't-miss top 10 players in the NBA, but they both possibly could get there. And Ace is only 19 and has potential to maybe even as good. So Richard just doesn't want to see it.
Well, it's not going to happen. They're not going to give up Ace Bailey.
I agree with that. I don't expect him to go to deal. No, I expect Ace to be back playing 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 in September as the guys come back to town, and then we'll see him when he runs out there in October. So,
well, I expect him to be in town here if he's not already here, working out, and we'll see if they want him to do a little summer league action. I mean, he's not above beyond that by any stretch. That would actually be super exciting if he's there, because you're either going to get Peterson or AJ in the summer league to an extent. I don't know how much they're going to run him out there every night and all that stuff, but maybe make an appearance. I think that of the 4 that I've identified as guys that I wouldn't want to trade, the 2 big guys and the 2 backcourt guys, the only one I could conceivably going is George. And I'm not even sure I would do that.
I see why you say what you say, and he's the one I guess I could see most likely going.
Yeah.
But I don't see it as very likely at all. I don't think any of those 4 guys are going anywhere. I think they're coming right back here to play for the Jazz next season.
If I put money on it, I would go in the high 90s.
Nathan says, give him Ace in the second pick. Nathan, you're swimming against the tide here, for sure.
You are not giving up Ace. Sorry.
No.
That's why he's swimming against the tide. And he is the standout. There just aren't a lot of fans thinking that. This is a different question than yesterday, but the sentiment in the answers is consistent. And it's basically, if the Jazz can get AJ, that'd be great. But don't go crazy and give away the farm. Just let things happen and see how it plays out.
You're going to give up the number 2 pick. That's an absolute no-brainer.
Yep.
And I would give up draft picks and then anybody beyond those 4. If you want to take the Lion King, go ahead. And what's the other guy? Sevi Malahuka? Yeah.
Svi Mikhailuk.
I'll give away him. And a couple of those other guys. I can't even – who's the one guy? They brought him on late, and he looks really buff. And he had his moments.
Bryce.
I liked him.
They brought on so many guys late. I need a better. They were desperate to catch Sacramento, and it's a good thing they did.
And then they had one guy played like 48 minutes, and then he was gone. So any of those guys you can have. And I mean, Bryce Sensabaugh's a player. I mean, I don't discard him by any stretch. I think he can have a role for Washington. I think Washington could use a kid like him, actually. And so if they would be interested in that, Cody Williams, I mean, who knows what Cody Williams is going to be. He had a junior high school body when he came into the NBA and didn't do much the first season, got a little bit better the second season. So there might be something there. I don't look at either of those guys as throwaways. I think they could have value. So they have stuff. And then draft picks.
There you go.
Yeah.
That seems like the most likely thing to me. And
if you think AJ is your guy, then do it. And I don't think they're that point yet. I mean, obviously there's that local connection and everything. That's all been well documented. And this is the first time, it may be the only time in the history of the world that there was a player who naturally had a connection to the Jazz. That wasn't Sean Bradley because of Sean Bradley's 7'6", right? And we understand that. Sean Bradley probably doesn't have that connection if he's 6'6". The standard, all the NBA guys at the front line, they're all very tall by average standards. What's 5'9" is the average American male. So all those guys, yeah. AJ, it's not like he possesses unworldly height or athletic ability. He's very good at those, and there's other guys who do it. But if you think he's the guy, then you do. I don't go wherever it takes. I'll say whatever it takes within reason.
DJ and PK, when we come back, we're going to the PGA Championship with Brian Taylor, Ron McBride, in talking spring football at Utah and BYU at 8:30. Stay with us right here on The Zone.